source of inspiration over the last 30 years, right? And by his own example, right? By his lectures, his guidance, right? He has been personally helping me in my spiritual life. So we were very happy that Prabhuji is here with us this evening. In fact, we were expecting him earlier this year, and then that could not happen. So I was feeling very unfortunate that Prabhuji could not visit us, and then mercifully he agreed to come to us during this fall season. So let us welcome Prabhuji to Pittsburgh by loudly chanting Hari Bol 3 times. Hari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tiravanachari संकीर्तन की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा। Very happy to be here. Radheshyamdas has chosen a very special topic for this evening today, the power of association. So, and how it affects our destiny. Some people think in this world that, destiny controls us to a very great extent and we are powerless, we are helpless. That's a very false idea. Because in the end of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yatechasi Tata Kuru. Which means he says, you are not a puppet of your destiny. You are actually maker of your destiny. Your choices make your future. They carve your future destiny. So, and our choices are going to be influenced by the association we keep. What type of association we keep? We begin to behave like the way the people behave with whom we associate. Like you will see a child copies the mother while learning language, correct? No? Mother teaches. In the same manner, association is a very powerful phenomenon. When we associate with whatever we associate with, like iron rod put in fire, it becomes influenced by fire. It behaves like fire. You put it in fire. If you put iron rod in ice, it's going to be cold, chill cold. So, the amazing thing with association is, you don't even realize that you are becoming influenced by it until after many long years you may look back and realize that you have been influenced. This is true for both positive and negative association. For example, Ajamila, you all know, went to forest and saw a bad sight of a low-class man, low-class woman embracing, smiling. This happened long before. After that, rest is history. He came home, brought her as a servant maid. He was appearing to be getting intimate with her. His mother and father corrected him. He didn't listen to them. Finally, he threw out his parents and sent his wife back to her parents' home. Then he married this prostitute and lived with her and begot 10 children. And in old age, he was about to die. The constables of Superintendent of Death, Yamaraj, they came, Yamadutas. And they were about to take his life, take him away. At that time he called out his last son's name. And then the messengers of Vishnu came. At that time, the Yamadutas were recollecting some of the activities done by Ajamila from how he became degraded. When he was hearing it, at that time he realized that how I have become influenced by bad association. See how much time had spent. He was actually getting influenced by bad association without even knowing it. A person who is drunken doesn't know that I am drunk. He doesn't know how I am suffering. You ask a drunken man, you are suffering, you tell him, he will not believe it. He thinks he is enjoying due to mode of passion and mode of ignorance. So, Ajamila came to his senses after hearing from Vishnu Dutas. When he heard the pristine, pure message of glories of the holy name and the nature of Supreme Lord Vishnu and the loving relationship that exists between Lord and the Jiva, when he heard all these things, he really cried and he regretted and repented and became remorseful. And then he very much, lamented, alas, alas, what have I done to my religious parents and to my chaste wife? And I have ruined my character. And my association with this low-class prostitute has derailed me from the Brahminical excellence. And I have gone on a downward spiral. I have become a debauchee of the highest order. What a shame upon me, fie upon me. I am born in a very good family and I have degraded myself. So this realization, this repentance came much later, at the fag end of his life. So you can understand how deadly and how dangerous is bad association that imperceptibly swallows us even without our knowledge. In the same manner, the good association also, when you don't know how much benefit you are getting by good association immediately. You don't even realize. For example, a newborn child, he drinks the breast milk of the mother, then he is so tender, he can't move his hands and legs also, he cannot move from one place to another. Newborn baby. Totally dependent on the mother. Then later on dependent on the father. Then they have to take him to bathroom, they have to bathe him, they have to dress him, they have to decorate him, eventually send the child to school. When do you think an average child starts going out on his own? Not before 8 or 10. To go to market and purchase something and come, it's not an easy thing. Then when one is grown up to teenage or something like that, one looks back, oh, I have drawn so much from my mother and father. They have done so much for me. I have been troubling them so much. And I have taxed their time, their energy, their attention. So much they have done for me. Then somebody may feel some gratitude. So what we receive instantly we don't realize, we realize it later. Prahlad Maharaj also, he heard from Narada Muni in the womb of his mother. And later on he was born, he behaved exactly as a proper devotee, a pure devotee. And he went to the Shandamaraka's Gurukula school on the order of his father. He was untouched like a lotus in the middle of muddy pool of water. Completely untouched by bad association. On the contrary, he positively influenced his friends in the school. He completely transformed them. And he underwent a lot of turmoil, difficulties from the father. At last, when Lord Narasimha appeared, there is one verse in which Prahlad says, he says, Evam janam nipatitam prabhavaki kupe kama vikama manuya prapatan prasangat kritpatmasat sura rishina bhagavan grihita soham katam visruje tava bhritya sevam. In this verse he says, oh my dear Lord, I was fallen into the pit of snakes and scorpions, and I was suffering born in a low class family. But you came as, your pure devotee servant Narada came as my deliverer. He brought me out of this pit and purified me and made me as good as himself. Kritvatmasat, he says. Just as he is a Vaishnava, he purified me and made me look like a Vaishnava. He taught me everything that a Vaishnava should be doing. In this way, I am chanting your name, I am worshipping you, I am loving you, I am serving you. Although I am born in a low-class demoniac family, I am doing all these things, it's all because of him. Now you are asking me what benediction do I want? What more benediction can I ask for other than service to the lotus feet of my spiritual master? At that time Prahlad realized that what Narada has done to me, how he has positively influenced me. So he was thrilled remembering that. So when you get good association also, you gradually realize the benefits you have received. See, in my school days, one time some of my friends were all wearing this bell-bottom pants. You all know what is bell-bottom? Yeah. So for that Diwali, I told my father that you have to make a bell-bottom, get a balloon. My father laughed. He said, only your sisters should wear like that. The bottom portion is supposed to be big for the women. Men should wear tight pants. That's what my father showed. See, look at my pants, how I wear. You are also supposed to wear like that. I was adamant. I said, all my friends are wearing, I have to wear. So we got the bell bottom. In 6 months, the fashion changed. After that, I never wore it. Later on, I looked at the photos of wearing bell bottom. It looked so shabby. So how we can, the world can make a fool out of us, this is an example. Isn't it? We just copy, we just imitate. On the contrary, Prabhupada says, imitation of a good thing is good. Prabhupada says, like a child goes with the mother or father, and the mother or father, they offer obeisance, saluting. And then he also offers obeisance, isn't that? And they get up and he's watching, what are they saying? They are folding one, he also folds palms. And they close eyes, he also closes eyes, as if he's praying something. Correct, no? So a kid is just imitating. By imitating good devotee parents, he is going to be a great, he's going to benefit immensely. Correct, no? So all of us, if you see, how did we learn to wear dhoti kurta? How did we learn to wear tilak? How did we learn to carry japamala with us and chant? Just like when you join army, or even when you joined NVCC, when you joined NCC in the school days. So they gave us gun on the very first day. They gave us the shoes, uniform, belt and cap and gun. And you are holding the gun upside down. They said, not like this, you have to hold it like this. We don't even know how to hold it. But they give us these things in the beginning, and then gradually we are trained. Similarly, the attire we wear is attire of a Vaishnava devotee, but although our internals may not be changed in the beginning. But eventually, they are changed by the mercy of Vaishnavas and guidance and teachings of the Vaishnavas gradually. The point is, association sinks gradually into our system over a period of time, and we only have to be intelligent enough to put ourselves in good association. Sripad Ramanujacharya, in one of his commentaries in Bhagavad Gita, he says, go and sit in the middle of devotees, the midst of devotees, Sangha, wherever it is there, go and sit. And his disciple asked, then after that, what am I supposed to do? He said, don't ask what you have to do, just be there, that's all. Because they will make you do everything you are supposed to do. You will see that you go on the first day to Sangha, and they will teach you chanting, they will teach you bowing down, they will teach you to eat only prasad, they will give you seva, and they will give you more than you can engage in seva. You will get abundant. In fact, they will teach you so many things, you may not be able to immediately follow all of them. Gradually you can follow. So he said the only good thing you have to do in your life is to catch your mind and manage your mind in such a way that you make the mind agree to go and stay in good association. That's all you have to do, he said. So, the power of good association, power of bad association, both we can speak. There are innumerable examples. Go ahead. Yeah. You see, there are many verses here. The first one, Bhagavad Gita verse I have shown you, 62-63. Jayato vishayan pumsaka sangasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho vijayate krodat bhavati sammoha sammohat smriti vibramaha smriti pramshat buddhinasho buddhinashat pranashyati. The downward spiral is shown there. As you see here, from dhyayato vishayan pumsaka. Everything begins with a thought. Watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. And watch your character, that will become eventually your culture. So from thoughts to culture, in between there is many sequence of steps. So, but why am I saying this? The thoughts in our mind arise based on the memory inputs that we give. So one has to be very cautious and careful about what are the sensory inputs that I am giving through the 5 senses. There are 5 jnanendriyas, correct? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin, isn't it? So through this we are all giving inputs. So there are 5 types of foods, we call it. 5 types of foods for the 5 senses. The eyes want to see beautiful forms, ears want to hear sweet sounds, the tongue wants to eat tasty objects, tasty things. The nose wants to smell fragrant things. And the skin wants to touch soft objects. So there is a tendency in these 5 senses to want to enjoy. And you will see that, for example, when you smell petrol, how do you feel? It's nice or not nice?
Not so nice.
Huh?
Not nice.
Oh, it's very nice this. No, it is not healthy. It is not healthy, but when you smell, it feels nice or not?
Yeah, sometimes it feels nice.
It feels nice.
The crackers smell also sometimes.
Similarly, there are many things in this world, like, if you see maida, items made of maida very crispy, crackjack biscuits, for example. It looks very tasty with salty biscuits right now. Yeah, but for eating it is very good. Only for putting inside it is good, not for coming out. Isn't it? Yeah, like we say fast food. Fast foods they are fast only in eating and they are slow to digest. Correct, no? They are harmful and not healthy. Correct, no? So the point is what? Our 5 sensory inputs, there is something called dopamine effect. Dopamine is, you get a kind of happiness or a pleasure as soon as you contact those objects. And immediately you think, oh, this is, because it is nice, it must be good. And that is the wrong conclusion. There are many things which may look nice. You read 18.38, Bhagavad Gita, homework. You can go back, you'll appreciate this point what I am saying. 18.38, Prabhupada says that. Vishayendriya samyogat yadadagre amritopamam pariname vishamiva tat sukham rajasamsmritam, he says. The rajasika sukh means instantly it gives you pleasure and it gives you long-term pain. And sattvika pleasures, initially it gives you pain and then there is everlasting pleasure after that. Like you will see, getting up early in the morning is sattvika activity. People feel the whole world is sleeping, everything is dark, it's very cold. Why should I get up? Like that one thinks. But if you get up somehow and get ready, then you get a couple of hours to chant nicely. Otherwise get up at 8 o'clock and rounds remain. How bad it is. Think about it. So, therefore, the sensory inputs we give, that is the first thing. Jayito Vishayan Pumsa. Then from the thought, the word, the deed, everything else follows. Habits, everything follows. So the inputs, we have to be as careful as we are careful about eating items. Like when you drink water, when you are going outdoor, you buy a bottle which is sealed bottle. And you make sure that it is pure water. Otherwise, if you drink contaminated water, you will have to, get sick and infected and you will have to pay a heavy doctor's bill. So you will be more careful. Just as you are careful about the food you eat or the water you drink, we have to be careful about the inputs we give to the mind through the 5 senses. This is like the mind. This is the mind and these are the 5 senses. What goes into the mind through the 5 senses? This is very, very important. Because mind is like a storehouse of your experiences and the impressions that you are giving it. Later on, those experiences are going to give rise to desires. And then those desires can push us to act. They will actually push the working senses, namely the hands, the legs, the genitals, rectum and speech. So the mind will ask the intelligence, now I want to act in this manner. That is based on the inputs for exam. So that is why the first one said, and 3:25:25, the previous one, previous line. Yeah, the 3:25:25 version, what is that verse? Famous one. Sadam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti hritkarna rasayana kata tajjoshanadashvapavarga vartmani shraddharatir bhaktiranukramishati. You see, Prabhupada writes there, you can only understand the beauty of the personality of Godhead when you come in the association of devotees. Because the practical example for this is Narada boy. Narada in his previous life was a Dasi Putra, a son of a maid servant, in a particular simple village. There was in Brahmana's Gurukula, where during the rainy season, some Bhaktivedantas came and stayed there, saw great sadhus, great Mahatma devotees. So daily they would sit together in a circle and discuss Srimad Bhagavatam with great joy. So the mother of this boy, Dasi, the servant maid, she told the kid that, oh, great souls have come in the neighborhood. Come, let's go and offer them obeisances. So she took the son and they both came and did namaskar to them. And she wanted to render some seva also. So she would tell him to take the prasadam plates for the sadhus. Go and carry prasad, serve them. After they finish prasad, wash their plates. Be available to them, render some service. So in this way she taught the good habit of sadhu seva for her child. And the beauty is, this boy would go and render service. He saw they are all very delightful, joyfully, happily listening and laughing and enjoying the katha. So one day he thought that, if it would be nice if I can also hear the katha. So he heard a little bit of it and he became so joyful. Then he asked the saintly persons, I don't have any education, I have no qualification, I am born in a low family, am I allowed to come and sit in the katha? They said, oh child, there is no qualification required for this except Shraddha, and you have the Shraddha, and you are most welcome to come and join us. You don't need to be a Brahman, you don't have to be rich, you don't need anything. All you need is a drop of faith, which you have. So therefore the boy says later on, Tatran Vaham Krishna Katha Pragayatam Anugrahena Shrinavam Manohara Shraddhayamenu Padam Vishrinvatah Priyashravashyanga Mama Bhavadruchi. See what he says, Manohara. The pastimes they spoke were all very delightful. They were speaking pastimes like Krishna lifting Govardhan hill and giving shelter to all the Vijavasis, or Krishna dancing on Kali and subduing the evil, like this, and Krishna stealing the butter from the homes of his loving devotees. So when he heard these pastimes, the more he heard, the more they charmed his heart, he says. Because he was serving the saintly persons, his heart became purified. And in a purified heart, these pastimes fit very well. These pastimes become relishable and they soften the heart more and more. So in this way, by sadhu sangha, the boy went on to become Narada. In the previous life, he happened to be a Gandharva called Upabarhana. He was always surrounded by beautiful apsaras. And he would wear chandana on his body, he had curly locks of hair, and a very sweet singer, had a very handsome body of a Gandharva, and he was like a playboy roaming with women, moving from place to place. One day he happened to go to one place where demigods were having a meeting. At the end of the meeting, they were singing a song in glorification of Lord Hari. At that time, this fellow stood behind and he sang some other song. Imagine you are singing Hare Krishna, somebody singing cinema song, how it will be. When he did that, one of the demigods became angry. He turned around and said, hey, what are you doing? Just because you have a handsome body, you want to impress the girls, and you are singing something else just to make them laugh. And he said, I curse you to become a Dasiputra. Then he gliding down the Antarikshi came and he was born in a rustic village, in an insignificant parentage, to a mother like a Dasi. So, you can see from a Gandharva birth, he fell down to becoming a Dasiputra, son of a maid servant. From Dasiputra he went on to become much more great personality, which is Narada. He can take his veena and travel all across the globe and practice and preach, and he can even go to Bhuloka to Goloka also. Everywhere he can go. Which means he degraded by bad association of those. He wanted, in the presence of opposite sex, there is a tendency for impressing the opposite sex. So he fell down. Now by good association he got elevated. And this is what we learn. By bad association we degrade, by good association we get elevated. That's the thing. That's what it is said, Asat Sangatyag, Yai Vaishnava Achar. Stri Sangi Eka Sadhu, Krishna Bhakta. Like that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami. One should abandon bad association. One interesting observation you will make in Srimad Bhagavatam, whenever the talk about association comes, first it is said that you have to give up bad association. And then it is said you should also take good association. Like 4 questions were asked by Parikshit to Shukadeva Goswami. What is the duty of a dying man? What is the duty of a general man? What should one hear, remember, glorify and worship? And what should a person not hear, not glorify, not worship? 4 questions he asked. And which question Shukadeva Goswami answered first? Anybody knows out of the 4? Which one? Last one he answered first. Shotavyadini Rajendra Ninam Santi Sahasrashaka Apashyatam Atma Tattvam Griheshu Grihamedri. From that he starts. So he's telling what not to do, he's saying first. Why? Because bad association is toxic, and once it goes inside, it takes a long time to remove. Like for example, weeds grow around the plant. You want, like I had a tomato plant I was growing in my school days. My father used to allot us a place to do that. So while growing the tomato plant, next to that another plant came which resembled exactly the same. It was also having leaves very similar, exactly similar type of leaf. Then I asked my father, I don't know which one is tomato. He said, you keep watering it, you'll come to know. And I was watering it. From the tomato plant, big green tomatoes came, which later on became red. But the other plant, a small type of fruit came. Father said, this is poisonous plant. And then I asked, should I remove the poisonous fruits and throw away? He said, no, uproot it, he said. Totally uproot it and throw it. Because if you allow it, somebody may by mistake eat something and it's poisonous. You should uproot it. Similarly, you will see that by good association we elevate. But bad association can totally degrade us. Therefore, warning is given. Sarvato manaso asangam. See, the first thing he says. Sarvato manaso asangam ado sangam cha sadhushu. Second line says, and then you should from the beginning associate with saintly persons. First you remove the bad association and then associate with saintly persons, he says. Like that there are many verses. Sarvato manaso asangam ado sangam cha sadhushu daya maitrim prashrayam cha bhuteshwadayatochitam. This is one verse in 11th canto. There's another verse which says, Tasman naro sanga susanga jato jnanasinehaiva vibhrikna moha. This is told by Jadabharata. He's saying, Tasman naro sanga, naro asanga. There also he says, give a bad association. Then he says susanga. Then you take satsanga, he says. That means the acharyas are so much attentive and concerned about the jivas not spoiling his future by taking bad association. That's why the first they are saying, give up the bad association, he is saying. So, and also you have heard that a moment's association can transform a person. Correct, it is said, no? Isn't it? That is, I never knew this, but I heard from His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj that Ambarish Maharaj had a brother. Anybody knew that? Ambarish Maharaj had a brother. But the most amazing thing with the brother was, he was diametrically opposite to Ambarish Maharaj. He was the most degraded personality. So, when Narada heard it, he became curious. How is it in the same family, 2 brothers, one is a pure devotee, one is not. Let me go and meet his brother and deliver him also. So, he went to meet him, and this fellow, people feared him so much because he used to attack people, kill people. He had a big barrel of liquor for drinking. He would always be eating meat, drinking wine. When Narada went to make him chant the holy name, this fellow lifted the weapons to attack Narada. At that time Narada said, you see, I am not going to ask you for anything. You just Note this one point I am telling you. Whenever Yamadutas come, because your activities will attract Yamadutas, surely, When Yamadutas come, you just ask them one question which I am going to tell you. He said, ask them, what happens to a person who got a momentary association of a Vaishnava? That's all you have to ask. And then Narada ran away because this fellow drove him away. But then this fellow spent all his life in forgetfulness and foolishness. At the time of death when Yamadutas came, sure enough, that is the time this fellow trembled. Oh, they are going to take me and punish me in hell. Immediately he was, scratching his head to remember what Narada said. Then he asked them this question. What happens to a person if he got a momentary association of a Vaishnava? Oh, those guys got shocked. When they heard this question, they fainted because Yamaraja told them, never go near a Vaishnava. Anybody uses the word Vaishnava, go away. So, they ran away and they went and told Yamaraj. Yamaraj was surprised, really? How can such a degraded person ask such a question? I myself will come and see. So Yamaraj came on the back of a buffalo. When he came and met this fellow repeated the same question. Yamaraj fainted unconscious. When he got up, he said, you come with me, but I will not take you to hell. I will get answer to your question. Then he took him to Indra. When Indra heard it, he was stunned also. How can a Rakshasa ask this question? So he took him to Brahma. Then Brahma said, let us go to Shiva, he knows all these things very well. So then there was Yamaraj, there was Indra, there was, Brahma. And they all went to Shiva. Shiva also fell unconscious when he heard this question. He was thrilled, his hair stood on end and tears welled up his eyes when he heard this question. Shiva said, this is an ecstatic question. But I would like to hear the answer from Lord Vishnu himself. So he took all of them to Vishnu, along with this man also. Everywhere. And this way he got all darshan, Indraloka darshan, Brahma Loka, Shiva Loka. And as they approached Lord Vishnu, and they all told him, ask question to Lord Vishnu. When he asked this question to Lord Vishnu immediately called him and made him sit by the side of him, kept with him. And then they all asked the question to Lord, my dear Lord, what is your answer? Lord said, the answer is already here. He is with me now. You all can go now. So, in this way, this fellow, just because he had connection to Ambarish, he attained that position through Narada. Isn't it? So that's why we say this verse, what is that? Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Koi, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hai. Isn't it? See, there was one disciple of Prabhupada who left Krishna consciousness. But before he left Krishna consciousness, he had a lot of affection for Prabhupada, naturally. Actually, it was Prabhupada who had told him that across this city there is an ocean, and in the ocean there was an island. In that island you should purchase some, property for ISKCON. Prabhupada had told him. And this fellow faithfully followed that. He purchased the island, but he fell in Maya after going there. But Prabhupada one time in one of his trips, he asked about this devotee. Where is he? I don't see him. They said, Prabhupada, you know that he purchased property in the island. And Prabhupada took out, almost 4 or 5 hours he took out to travel and cross the ocean, go to that island and met him. Again he came back to Krishna consciousness. And the only reason that Prabhupada disciple says, why he came back, he said, I am such a small man, Prabhupada was so big, and he had many, many big disciples. But one instruction he gave me as a passing instruction to me, which I took seriously and I executed. And because of that, he was so grateful to me that he personally came to deliver me. So, he was so touched that Prabhupada took trouble to come and meet me. For his sake, I will come back. So, he came back to Krishna consciousness. That's why it's a lava matra. Similarly, there is one Prabhupada disciple who is a gardener even now. So, Prabhupada was coming out of ISKCON temple and he was gardening. And Prabhupada asked him, who are you and whose disciple are you? He said, Prabhupada, I am your disciple only. He said, oh, what's your name? He said. Then he told the name. And then Prabhupada said, oh, you're doing gardening? You're so fortunate, he said. Do gardening, make flowers and offer to Krishna. So till date he is making flowers. Just one momentary association. Prabhupada gave me this instruction. So I took it very seriously. See, there are different type of association that we all get. Like Sajatiya means like-minded devotees. Like here 2 people are sitting, Lord Chaitanya and Ramananda Rai. Like-minded. You get a deep conviction. And it offers a lot of encouragement to you, to meeting Like one example I'll tell you. In Pune, when Chaitanya Charan Prabhu had joined as a full-time devotee, in the weekends, the Saturday, Sunday, I would meet him in the afternoon. 2 o'clock I'll meet him. Sometimes 1 or 2 hours also I will talk to him. The early days, he would take counseling from me, guidance from me. But there are certain areas where he will ask me questions like science and spirituality. I would say something and he would bring something else also. So there would be some kind of strong dialogue between us. And then I told him, see, if you feel that the answers I gave are incomplete, I will connect you to somebody from whom you can get all the answers. So Chaitanya Prabhu, from very early days, he was very thoughtful devotee. So after 6 months, one time, Michael Cramo, what is Prabhuji's name, initiated name? Drutakarma Prabhu. He came to Pune. He's a scientist. He has written the book Hidden History of the Human Race and all those, human devolution, all those books as he has written, Forbidden Archaeology and all that. He came to Pune. He goes in coat suit, boot tie, everything for the conferences and all. But in temple he wears saffron dress. He wears, So he was staying in a room. I told him, hey, this is an opportunity for you. Only 2 days he has come. Go and meet him. Already you have a dozen questions which, I told you that I will put him in touch with somebody. So he went to his room. Probably a couple of hours he was with him. Got all his questions answered. When he came back out of the room, he was such a transformed man. Like Nimai Pandit coming after meeting Ishwarapuri. How Nimai Pandit became Krishna haunted. Like that when he came, he said, Prabhu, how he answered my questions, I cannot believe. The kind of answers he gave, I was so thrilled by the answers. He became completely satisfied and his conviction became multiplied. And then he became blissful, all the doubts dispelled after meeting him. And what was more surprising to him is, this personality is so deep in understanding of science, but yet he is so down to earth, humble. He said, I really learned this, that we have to be humble in our life, no matter how much knowledge we have. So this is the power of association. You will see that it actually produces a transformation. Even in our movement, you will see Abhay Babu, when he went with Naren, first time, he went with the Desh Prem paradigm, correct, no? He was a Gandhian wearing khadi dress. He was asking him, how will people take the message of Lord Chaitanya seriously? You see, Lord Chaitanya's message is great, but we are under foreign rule. How will people take us seriously? I think first we should get freedom, isn't it? And Bhaksan Surya Thakur spoke in the next hour, 1 hour. He told him, Lord Chaitanya's message is so urgent, it's such an emergency, it cannot wait for anything. Today someone is ruling, tomorrow someone else will come. But the followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who are Vaishnavas, they are the most innocent, harmless species in the entire creation. Because they consider every jiva to be their master. And they want to serve every living entity. They don't harm even an ant. Their heart is full of love for Krishna, love for all. And such Vaishnavas were produced by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is no parallel to that. And when he heard it, it was so impactful in the heart of Abhay. Instantly in one meeting he went from Desh Prem paradigm to Krishna Prem paradigm. In just one meeting. And while going down the steps he said, I am so happy that the message of Lord Chaitanya is in the right hands. And on that day I accepted him as my spiritual master. These two things he said to Naren. Although he was unwilling to go and meet any sadhu, that day he accepted him as a guru. You can see that. This is the meaning of association. It's very impactful. So, like-minded devotees. So, Chaitanya Charan Prabhu and Michael Krama, he said, both are scientifically inclined, like-minded. Correct, no? Both can understand what each other is talking. So, they were very happy with each other. Similarly, Sadhu Sangha, I was telling how Bhaksan Thakur's momentary association uplifted, Abhay. Of course, Prabhupada is always a pure devotee, but he did this leela to teach us that what happens in association. Correct, no? It gives strength, direction. Similarly, the Guru's Sangha anchors life in purity and clarity. So, when we associate with advanced devotees, the confused, understanding is gone and then we get clarity. Like we say, Divyajnan Hriday Prakashito. Prema Bhakti Yaha Hoite Avidya Vinasha Jate. So, love of God is awakened, ignorance is dispelled, and it's like switching on a light in a dark room, everything is lit it up like that. On the other hand, Asat Sangha, it destroys the faith, it inflames the lust, envy, pride, all the bad qualities come. It's an understandable thing. One becomes spoiled by the bad habits of the other person, which means in association what happens is the other person's desires, the paradigms, the thought process, his emotions, his feelings, they all get transferred to us. Like a contagious disease. Like you've seen tuberculosis. It's a contagious disease. Somebody is coughing. If you go and sit next to him, he coughs on your nose, on your face. You take it through your nose. Then you also start coughing after that, correct, no? Like one time I was sitting in a train in the top and studying. When I came back, I was sneezing. When I went to doctor, he said, you are infected, he said. I immediately understood which fellow infected me. Because he was sitting below only. One fellow was sneezing like anything. And his vapor was flying up. So it's contagious. So bad association also exactly like that. It catches us. So therefore, we all have to ask which 5 people are the people I spend the most time with. Correct now? This is actually a proverb. It says, one of the writers says that if you tell me the 5 people you connect with, I can tell you what type of person you are. Because birds of the same feather flock together. Parrots fly with parrots. Crows fly with crows. In India you will see sometimes in the street you see dogs live with dogs. Isn't it? Cats live with cats. Prabhupada says sometimes the dogs quarrel with other dogs, but you will never find them leaving the dogs and going and living with cats. You will not find that. After quarreling, they'll come back to them only. Again they'll come back. Similarly, devotees should live with devotees. But one time a monkey made friendship with an alligator, with a crocodile, and he got into trouble. You know that. Therefore, one should know that we have to associate with people who can uplift us. Next. Yeah. See what exactly happens when you associate by hearing the sound vibration. This verse says, Savuttamashlokamaham mukacchito. Everybody? Bhavatpadambo jasudha kananilaha smriti punarbhismrita tattvavartmanam kuyoginam no vitaratyalam varaihi. Here this Pithu Maharaj is speaking to Lord Vishnu. He is telling, my dear Lord, in the heart of your devotees there is a kumbha which is filled with honey. And when they speak, that honey is dripping from their lips. And that honey has to be tasted through the wind that carries that honey particles. And it is just like honey is drunk through the mouth, isn't it? Whereas this honey coming from the mouth of the devotees is taken through the ears. It is called as Shruta Ikshita Pat. Shruta Ikshita. You hear and then you can see. So he says, where is this honey from, you may ask. It is from the lotus feet of Krishna. It is a honey mixed with the saffron particles falling from Krishna's feet that is stored in the heart of the devotees. And when they speak, that kind of nectarian honey comes out. And when the devotees hear that, just like the wind carries the aromas, like that the sound vibration coming from the mouth of such great souls, and that when it enters the heart of the jivas, what does it do? Smritim punar vismrita tattva vartmana. It destroys forgetfulness and brings about remembrance of Krishna, he says. It puts a full stop to our forgetfulness. Suddenly a person develops attraction for Krishna, affection for Krishna, attachment to Krishna. One develops eagerness to, take spiritual life very seriously. You will see that many parents say that, our son or daughter is not interested, not chanting and all that. But suddenly that son or daughter, you will see, they develop some attraction for a sadhu. You've seen that? Some of them. Only when the sadhu comes, they will go running. And when sadhu says chant, suddenly they will chant 8 rounds. Earlier they were chanting 1 round, now they will chant 8 rounds now. So their parents also wonder what happened to this fellow. Suddenly he is agreeing. Because that attraction is very difficult to understand. Sayeva sadhushu krito mokshadvaram apavrita. Because this teenage kid is thinking that this personality is genuine, is pure, is transparent. And he cannot trust many people in this world, but he can trust one person. This is the kind of trust the hippies had in Prabhupada. Otherwise, how they could give up all those things? They were into so many dangerous things. So, in this way, Prithu Maharaj was telling, when the transcendental vibration from the mouths of great devotees carries the aroma of saffron dust of your lotus feet, the forgetful living entity gradually remembers his eternal relationship with you. In this way, devotees are able to come to the right conclusion, he says. Next. This is the benefit, ultimate benefit. So, you can see, in the different episodes, you all know Kumbhakarna and Ravana and Vibhishan, all three had meditated on Brahma. And when Brahma arrived, Ravana said, I want to have a kingdom of Lanka. I want to have a golden kingdom. And abundant luxuries and comforts and everything. And I should not be killed by this, killed by... He also asked many boons like Hiranyakashipu. But he didn't care for the humans, because he thought humans cannot kill him. He thought like that. That's why Lord Rama came as a Nara Lila he did, correct, no? So, he was completely passionate. So, he asked passionate boons. And when Kumbhakarna's turn came, all the demigods came to know that Kumbhakarna was actually meditating on asking a boon, Nirdevatvam. That was the boon he wanted to ask. Nirdevatvam means, I should be able to wipe out all the devatas. All the devatas are already trembling. My Lord, his penance is over now. He is going to ask the boon now. They all finally went to Saraswati and prayed. Saraswati Mata, please twist his tongue in such a way that he will not be able to wipe us out. Then instead of asking Nirdevatvam, he asked Nidratvam. So he got sleep. Correct, no? Yeah. So, and also, he wanted to ask, after killing all the devatas, he wanted to occupy the post of Indra. So he wanted Indrasana. So instead of that, he asked Nidrasana. So in this way, he got Nidrasana and Nidratvam he got. At that time, Ravana told Brahma, please don't put him to sleep forever. Only dead people sleep forever, isn't it? At least give him a boon by which he can wake up also. So once in 6 months, he will get up. Correct? No? For 1 or 2 days, again he will go to sleep. That was the kind of thing arranged. So, when Ravana wanted to seek help from Kumbhakarna, so Ravana represents passion, Kumbhakarna represents ignorance. And what did Vibhishan ask? Vibhishan asked, Oh Lord Brahma, in this world, many people follow the path of righteousness. But when tough situations come, difficult situations come, even sometimes a man of good character slips down. He may walk a wrong path. My request to you is, let me always walk the path of righteousness, even in difficult times. That was the boon he asked. So he was in Sattva-guna, correct, no? So one is Tamaguna, one is Rajaguna, one is Sattva-guna. So later on, when Ravana wanted help from Kumbhakarna, when Kumbhakarna woke up, no? Ravana told him, you know what Kumbhakarna said? Hey, Sita is Jagat Janani. If you read Ramayana, Mula Ramayana, it says Jagat Janani, what is used there? That means he told Sita is the mother of the whole universe. How did you bring her here, brother? To enjoy her. She is the wife of, she is the consort of Supreme Lord. You have done a very dangerous thing. It's no good for you. Ideally, you should give her back. But if you are adamant about keeping her, then let me tell you, because I am your blood brother, I will go and die in the battle. But if I die, he said, you can know that you will never win Rama. At least at that time you should give back Sita. So he's saying this, he went to battle and he died. And do you think Ravana gave back Sita at that time? No. He was in no mood to give Sita back. But what did Vibhishan do? He understood that, Ravana is walking a wrong path and he is surrounded by ministers who are all yes men. Out of fear of him, they were all yes men. Vibhishan openly declared in the palace, you are tying a fire around your belly, brother. Sita is like fire, she will burn you down, he said. And she is another man's wife, she is worshipable by all living beings. Better give her back. When he heard this, he became so angry. All my ministers agree with me and you don't agree with me, so he kicked him on his chest and said, get lost from here. Think about Vibhishan. He lost his palace, he lost his post, he lost his wealth, he lost his reputation, respect. He left everything with bare hands with just 4 more asuras with him, rakshasas with him, he arrived in the shores of the ocean and told, the Vanaras that I am going to join Rama's army. Please go and tell Rama. Therefore, Vibhishan Saranagati is a very, very much spoken subject because he came with practically nothing. And you can see Vibhishan, here it is said, association with Ravana led to downfall of Kumbhakarna. And Vibhishan's family also suffered because of their connection. But you will see Vibhishan did not continue his association. Smartly at the right time he pulled out. So for us this is a lesson today. That if you have any bad association right now around us anywhere, we feel that it may be coming through a smartphone to you. It may be coming through some people to you. It may be coming from certain ambience to you. If you identified it, we should be smart like whom? Vibhishan. And not continue our association like Kumbhakarna. That's the lesson. Next. Go ahead. Yeah. Mahabharata also, Duryodhana was, ruined by Shakuni, and also similarly Kaikeyi was ruined by Manthara. These are all bad association. Go ahead. Yeah. This I already told you the example. Next. Yeah. So this is what I told you. Satsanga is uplifting association. Asatsanga is distracting, contaminating and derailing association. And there are some people with whom you have neutral association, like colleagues in the office. But one thing is they'll waste your time. There are many people who will talk politics, they will talk about sports, they will talk about which cinema actor married which cinema actress. You are not going to die without knowing it. They will talk so many useless. Shrotavyadini Rajendra, Nidam Santi, Sahasrasha. There are thousands of subjects to speak about. So we should know the art of escaping. One boy was telling me, in his company, one of his colleagues, when he goes to washroom, when that fellow goes to washroom, just outside that they will stand. Once he catches him, 40 minutes he will talk. Straight. Whoever got caught by him, 40 minutes. And how he will talk, one sentence he will finish, and this, and then yesterday this, and tomorrow that, and everything will go on and on. Most people didn't know how to stop him. So this boy was telling me, Prabhu, sometimes I get caught by him. So what I should do? You should tell him that you are in a hurry to go to washroom. You run inside. You run inside. And when he goes to washroom, you run outside after that. So don't waste time with people like that. They may not pollute you, but they may waste your time. And those who are asatsanga, materialists, they will distract us, and when they gossip about things, they may even sometimes pollute us. That we should avoid. See, this boat is tied to a strong ship. The ship will take him to shore, isn't it? But if a boat is not anchored, it is going to be swept away. Like Krishna says, Vayu Namami Vambasi. So our inner anchoring means our japa should be intense and prayerful. Our association should be uplifting us and strengthening us. Go to the next one. Yeah. I have given some example. Here is an example of a college student. It happens to many of the teenage kids born in devotee families. When they were in the devotee family, they were watering tulasi, they were circumambulating tulasi, worshipping and doing arati, playing mridangam, doing kirtan. But when they become college students, when they go, sometimes they are mocked by their friends for being religious. Hey, why are you after God? Is this the age for this? When you become 80 or 90, you can do this. Things like that friends say, and they also get carried away. And they get into the party culture. They come home and argue with the parents. Why are you telling me to do this? My friends are doing that. They are playing video games and this and that. So, but then one such boy later on, again when he came in some great sadhu's association, his life completely turned around. He remembered the whole thing. He became a devotee. Next one. Similarly, in the company, what happens? Sometimes nowadays in company, earlier there was work from home. Now many companies say that at least a hybrid model, because they want to keep the people together, and there is a lot of talk about developing strong bonds between the colleagues because they are all working in the same project. And in order to do that, company comes up with various plans, one of which is party. go out and party, go to this hotel, eat together and party together. So sometimes even a devotee boy is a little timid boy. He puts Kantimala, he makes it one, single, and puts it. One boy was like that. He put inside. I will not tell anybody I am a devotee. So in Pune there was one such boy. He will never wear tilak, he put Kantimala inside and he didn't want to tell his friends I am a devotee, they may tease me and all that. Generally whenever they had a birthday party in the company, they would give him cake and when no one is around, he'll put it in the dustbin. He would do like that. But one day one of his project mates said, today I am going to feed everybody in my team, personally. So two boys caught his two hands on either side. And this boy who had birthday, he put in his mouth. He said, no, I will take it home. He said, no, you have to eat here only. And then he put in his mouth. And immediately after eating that cake, he called me, Radheshyam Prabhu. He called, I asked, what happened? I have fallen down, he said. You fallen down? From where you fell down? What happened? You fell down from the bus or the train? What happened? I was asking. Then he was crying. He said, Prabhuji, you told us that we should not eat outside cakes because they may contain eggs. But today this is what happened. I said, see, since beginning I told you, better you show the Kantimala. Isn't it? If you show Kantimala, you can say that these are my principles I follow, correct, no? I have some obligation. I am committed to somebody. I don't do this honestly. So it happens to sometimes working person, you see. But then later on, gradually when one grows in inner strength and everything, they get balanced. Next. Yeah. Although Rup Sanatan were in very big positions, like he was a finance minister and home minister. You can go and see in Bengal, still the palaces are there. The ruins of the palaces are available still. Even the ruins is so big now, you can see that. They were given one palace each. They had a garden behind where they had made Gupta Vrindavan and everything. They lived like kings only. The king Nawab Hussain Shah treated them like his own brother. When they retired, you know how much gold coins they had? Not currency notes or dollar notes. They had what? Gold coins. One boat full of gold coins. See, if you have one palm full of gold coins, your whole life you can spend it. And they had boatload of gold coins, you can imagine. Such living in such aristocracy, they could leave everything and come and join Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because of that, they carved their destiny. Otherwise, their father, he used to perform everyday yajna, saying that he would be beating in his chest and saying, alas, my sons are working for a cow flesh eater. It's a degraded job. He would think like that. But then Rupa Sanatan went on to become exalted Goswamis. So that means you can, carve your destiny by the choice of your association. Next. Yeah. So how do we do association? This is physical Sangha. For example, when you come to the temple, we can take prasadam together. Many people ask, why can't I join online? But in online, you cannot smell the flowers offered to Lord. In online, we cannot supply prasadam. Correct? No? In online, you cannot catch the hands of devotees, dance with the devotees. In online, you cannot spend some personal time. There is a lot of difference between personally sharing and online. Online, everything is black box. You don't know whether they are dead or alive. You don't know. Many times they just put black boxes. Nobody puts on video. When you announce, everybody switch on the video. Everybody switch on. In 2 minutes, everybody will switch on. And we made a policy in Bhakti Vaibhava class. Those who don't switch on the videos, they will get absenteeism. We'll make it absent. So they made a video on. After some time, the speaker, when he becomes busy with speaking, they will switch off again. How many times can you tell? Now we have changed the policy. Okay, it can be on or off, whatever you want to do. So, therefore, when we associate with devotees, that purifies the senses through the holy atmosphere. The ambience of the temple. The temple hall is a place where many great souls have come. They have sung kirtan, they have danced, they have spoken lectures. Their vibrations are still there. They are in the ether, they are present. So their ambience you cannot get in online. You cannot get. Personally, one has to come. Next. Verbal. So sometimes you may be online, but some people are very good listeners. Very good listeners. I have seen, even when I give online, 1 hour a fellow has heard At the end, such a brilliant question they ask based on what they have heard. On the other hand, somebody may be sitting offline, but offline is also off in his mind also. You know, I ask him, hey, what did you learn in today's class? Prabhuji, everything was wonderful, Prabhu. Okay, one good thing, if everything is wonderful, one thing can you say? Prabhuji, your lectures are always wonderful. Prabhu, please kindly don't trick me. Tell me one point, Then he says, Prabhuji, let others start. Finally, I will tell. Then we start with others. Finally, you find out he's not there only. He slowly slipped out. So sometimes even offline, it's not that you are personally present, you are going to be very attentive. We can be physically present, mentally absent. But somebody may be online, very sincere souls. I have online people. From YouTube, people have become very serious devotees also. Next. Manasa Sangha. See, Manasa Sangha is when you are alone, but you are very fondly remembering the instructions given by seniors, Guru, and you are making an effort to execute it. There are people who note down the instructions and faithfully execute it. So your mind is always filled with, like Prabhupada fulfilled 2 instructions. If you ever get money, print books. Prabhupada, what did you do for that? BBT, he started. And why didn't you preach this message in the Western world? Father, what did he do? ISKCON. So ISKCON and BBT, 2 big instructions Prabhupada got and he fulfilled. He was always carrying. You all know that when Prabhupada was coming to America in Boston Harbor, he was writing a poem. Bado Kripa Hare Krishna Adha Mera Prati. Correct, no? So that song also he sang, and also another song he says that Acharya's heart will be pleased when he sees everybody chanting the holy name. He always carried Guru in his heart. Next. Yeah, Seva Sang. This is a very powerful association, which is like Krishna and Sudama, they rendered service together, so emotional bonds developed between them. Like you go for book distribution with devotees, you can develop strong bonds. You cook in the kitchen with other devotees, or you make garland with other devotees, or me and Gauranga Prabhu are preaching partners. We used to go together. After coming back, we would discuss what happened, who came to the lecture, and who is likely to become serious, who is not so serious, everything we'll discuss. So we used to go together. So in this way, we form thick friendships by the Seva Sangha like this. In this way, we can associate with devotees, physically coming together, and also my Guru Maharaj once was asked by one brahmachari, Maharaj, how do we develop relationships with devotees? He said, very simple. Morning, attend Mangalarti together, Darshana together, Tulasi together, chant Japa together, take Prasadam together, and then discuss Bhagavatam together. And he was telling the example of Lord Chaitanya sitting in the Zota Gopinath, and discussing Bhagavatam with whom? Gadadhar Pandit, isn't it? And Mahaprabhu would be going and meeting Siddha Bhakul, Haridas Thakur. If you spend time with devotees, putting Krishna in the center, relationship very easily develops. But even if you connect with devotees talking mundane subjects, eventually it leads to enmity. Enmity and quarrel and misunderstanding. You put Krishna in the center, Krishna. Therefore, my Guru Maharaj used to say that between the couple, there should be divine couple. The divine couple is like the jam. See, in bread and bread, in between we have jam. So divine couple is like the jam. So we may be dry like a bread, but divine couple is like a jam. When the jam comes, the whole thing becomes very attractive. Correct, no? Next. Yeah. Here you can say examples of how the destiny was transformed. Dhruva Maharaj, you see, his lips were quivering, eyes were shedding hot tears, and his body was trembling. It is like a snake, stamped upon by the foot of somebody with the boots. Like that, Dhruva Maharaj became angry. When his stepmother spoke, hot tears came, lips quivered in anger. He wanted to say something to her back. But later the same Dhruva, on the guidance of his mother and Narada, when he saw Lord Vishnu, this time the tears were cold tears. Earlier it was hot tears. Now the lips are quivering to chant shlokas in glorification of Vishnu. Earlier his lips are quivering to speak something angrily. Now body was trembling in Ashtasatvika Vikar. Just see the transformation due to Narada's company. Next. This I told you, how Ajamila fell due to degrading association. Next. The 6 Goswamis, this is one very nice thing to learn. How many of you sometimes feel that you would like to read Bhagavatam alone, you feel? You have a desire sometimes. Nobody. We all like, correct, no? Because it helps put you in a contemplative mode. No? Like sometimes I sit in the train in the top berth and sometimes only 2-3 pages I read in 1 hour, slowly thinking very deeply, contemplatively. It's very helpful. But we should do both. Sometimes we can read ourselves and contemplate. Sometimes we can sit with devotees and do. That's what Goswamis did. Many Goswamis had their own cottages and they had their own deities also. Our Sanatana Goswami worshipped which deity? Madan Mohan. Similarly, Rupa Goswami, Radha Govind, correct, no? In this way, they had their own deities, they had their temples, they had their cottages. But there was times of the days when they would come together to sit together like this and discuss with each other also. Because Bhagavatam says, Paraspara anukatanam pavanam bhagavat yashaha mito ratir mitas tushtis nivrittir mita atmanaha. This verse says, Paraspara anukatanam, we should do charcha with the devotees. When you do that, what happens? Pavanam bhagavat yashaha, Lord's katha is very divine. And then he says, mito rati, devotees will develop love for each other, it says. And mitat tushti, they feel great satisfaction also. And nivritti, they become free from propensity for sense gratification. 3 gifts are mentioned here. Next. Yeah, B, which means generally what we think, if some other devotee comes and connects with me, then I will, make friendship. We don't take initiative. But here it is said, you take initiative. You create association. Like if you are grihasthas, you can host a program in your house, monthly once or something. Then you can call the devotees for Harikatha, correct, no? Like in Pune, what the couples do, like one couple goes to another couple's home, and so just 4 of them, they discuss they sing one Vaishnava song. If they especially feel they want to connect with their family and make friends like that. Sometimes 3 or 4 couples come together, just about 8 of them, small. Because often that kind of Sangha becomes more closer, correct, no? So in this way, we can, in Pune, in 2001 or 2, I started one Bhagavatam study circle with just about 10-12 people who were very important for me in our community. So their husband and wife used to come, and they went and told others that it's so nice, and more wanted to join. It became 20, 25. I only selected, it's an invitee basis, not for all. Then when these guys would go and talk, many congregation wanted to come. It was a conference room where you can only have 20 people max. Then outside the conference room, hall would be open. I said, those who are not counselors, they will sit outside and you can hear if you want. Then you put a speaker outside. That outside crowd became 200, 300 eventually. Finally what I did, I moved the whole program to Prasadam Hall with 500 people coming every month. It's called as Krishna Rasayana, we call it. I made many lectures, we spoke. So after that, the counselors became upset. They said, Prabhuji, why did you make it such a big thing? We don't get personal attention, They stopped coming. For whom I started, they stopped coming. Finally, what I did, I started a program in one house. I said, we will not do in the temple. Don't tell anyone that this program goes on. It's a secret, just like Shiva Sangan meeting. So in that house I do, even now I do, only 20 couples are allowed for that. They are senior most people, they practically run the whole temple, such devotees. So even now it's going on monthly once. Most people don't know it actually. Only 20 invitee basis we do it. Other large scale program I do it in the temple, open hall we do. Whole idea is, and those devotees have become super mature in their understanding of philosophy because they have been hearing, they discuss with each other, katha, memorizing shlokas, everything. Next. Seek vertical association. Actually, we should always look for svato vara. Svato vara means not only sajatiya, like-minded, but somebody who is better than us. Now you may ask, if everybody is looking better, then who is better, who is inferior? See, somebody may be very good in memorizing shlokas better than you can learn that from them. You may be more philosophical than them, they can learn philosophy from you, correct, no? Somebody may be very good in practical application, in how to survive in ISKCON, with all the challenging situations sometimes, they may be knowing, then they are better in that. So these are called situational leadership. Like a tortoise is a leader in water, and a rabbit is leader on land. Like that everybody has some unique ability. So in case you want to develop in some field, you go and associate with the devotee. Spend Tumi Bado Sukhi, Ami Bado Sukhi. We can declare our position and tell them, please help me. I want guidance in this. Next. Quality over quantity. Seek deep and sincere connection with devotees and not just, rather than large social gathering. What happens in a large social gathering? Many fine questions will not be asked publicly. People fear. But in a smaller Sangha, 20 people, 25 people, that can become a very deep Sangha. People develop genuine relationships. And large, like imagine if I am doing a Bhagavad Katha, 5,000 people come. They come like waves of the ocean and go back like waves of the ocean. You've seen that? People come and go. But we want to have personalized grooming and mentoring of a selected group of devotees who will become committed, dedicated, serious devotees. That is how that's the reason counselor system was made. Like we have contact, cultivate, care. Contact is like large scale programs. Cultivate is the weekly programs. And care is the counseling programs. And counseling program becomes like a family. Counselor, counselee, they are like mother and father, and all the counselees feel like children, and there is so much of affection I have seen in Pune counselees have for their counselor. They say they are like my spiritual mother and spiritual father. They draw a lot of energy from not only for themselves, husband, wife, even for the children. It becomes like a very nice family type of group. So therefore quality is very important. Quality means you are able to open heart and take help. It's not superficial thing. Haribol, it's not like that. How is your climate in your place? Is there rains? Whether there rains or not? Is it cold or is it hot? What kind of association is that? Talking about climate, talking about food, talking about health. But we should be able to keep Krishna in the center and talk about genuine discussions from the Shastra. Next. And their application in our life. Yeah. Sometimes you are the association now, which means, we all have a big responsibility that after some years, of 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, you may go to places where, you may have to give association. Like we go to meet so many students, they are longing for some good Sangha. So we should make sure that we are very learned. We are not only we are just theoretically learned, but we grasp some realization from our real life in such a way that we can motivate them, inspire them in devotional life. That's a very big responsibility. If somebody says, imagine you go to a program and say, Prabhu, I'm extremely tired. I have not been able to read. I had so many management meetings. We had this problem, we had that problem, so I didn't read anything. So if you want, I can tell you some of the things what happened in the meeting. If you say, people will say, Prabhuji, better you take rest, they will say. We are not here to hear about your meetings, correct, no? Sometimes the leaders have to attend a lot of meetings, correct, no? You attend many, many meetings. At the same time, it is expected that you read the Shastra and you also relish it and you give it also with realization. That is why this is a big responsibility. So your stability shapes their destiny, correct, no? It's a very serious thing. Next. Yeah. Guard your senses vigilantly. Read that below. Be ruthless. You can read it loudly.
Be ruthless about the media you consume and conversations you engage in. Choose Shastra Sangha over News Sangha. Kirtan over casual music.
Yeah. You see, the media is something you take in and conversation is you give out. In both, like Gramya Katha na shunibe, Gramya Katha na kahibe. So, I'm sorry it's getting late, another 5 minutes I'll finish it. It's coming to the close now. So, do not talk mundane like mundane people. We are devotees, we are supposed to be different from the common people. So, our subject matter should be like the swan class, not like the crow class. Crow class people means they talk on sensuous topics, like they read cinema magazines, they sing Hollywood, Bollywood songs, they exchange political things. So therefore, what we talk with people, with one another, and also what we consume. If I am going to consume a lot of reels from social media, especially Instagram, Facebook and all, then those things will come out in my lectures also. Because good in, good out, garbage in, garbage out. People will easily know what are you taking in. From the way you talk, from the way you speak, way you live, your mood, everything people can understand. So preserving the purity of the content of taking in and giving out is very, very vital as devotees. And if we want to shape others as devotees, we have to take pure content and give pure content. Next. Yeah. See, the most successful devotee makers or people who do this. I am writing with experience, I am telling you. I have observed across the globe while traveling. These fellows do morning japa circles where they call people on Zoom, you have seen. But the Zoom japa, you should not look at people. You should, like some people put in mobile, you will see, they switch it on, the Zoom, and it is completely black out. You don't see also. You have seen that, no? You do your japa. You worry about whose japa? Your own japa. But some people, they put on Zoom and keep watching who is awake, who has come, who has not come. In between they talk also. And this is the best way to ruin the japa. So we should be very careful. If you are going to have Zoom circle, there are very intelligent devotees. They themselves give their association in Zoom to their counsellors or whatever, but they don't look at the screen. They just keep it in the side and they continue chanting completely. So by doing this, what happens? A lot of weaker ones who need support for chanting, they also get up in the morning because they want to give attendance and say that, Prabhuji, I was also there. And I have been coming straight for the last 3 months. I never missed a single day. They want some pat on the back from you. They're very happy. So in this way, for growing upcoming new devotees, the morning Zoom japa, and night before going to sleep, say if you all are sleeping at 9:30 or 10, say you sleep at 10 for example, or 9:30, so 9:15 to 9:30, that 15 minutes if you keep Prabhupada book reading, very good. In Pune we call it a sport, we call it. Srila Prabhupada online reading team, we call it. When we advertise the sport in the notice board, a lot of people joined thinking it's some sports, they thought. We told them we'll be sporting with Prabhupada books only. So in Pune we have more than 100 sports circles. We have many councillors have their own circle. Somebody is reading Bhagavatam, somebody is CC, somebody is reading Lilamrit, small books, medium books, bigger books. So you can join any of it. We are going to advertise it also with all the this thing. So the beauty is people can sit at home and they can join. So hear something Krishna conscious and go to sleep. How wonderful it is, isn't it? That's the second one. Morning japa circle, night reading groups, and mentorship from seniors, see guidance from senior devotees. Always, even though we may be very senior, we always should have somebody above us. Like when I go to Bombay, once is the shaman who told in Brahmachari class, he said, see, Radheshyam is a big fish in a small pond in Pune. When he comes to Chowpatty, he's a small fish in a big pond. Because we are also there, many fishes. So similarly, we may be a big fish in a small pond in one place, but we should have Sangha where we can have equal devotees, who can treat like a friend, who should not give us too much respect. And they should be able to joke with us, play with us. We need that kind of Sangha also. So that's why we like I see, of course I am getting guidance from my own spiritual master directly, Radheshyam Swami Maharaj. But in the situation of his unavailability, I also have 2-3 seniors like Shyamanand Prabhu, Radha Gopinath Prabhu, Sanat Kumar Prabhu. I take guidance from them. And whatever they say, I take it as seriously as my spiritual master. So we all need that type of Sangha. And then serving together with peers. Deep bonds form in shared service. That is Krishna Sudama example I gave you. Also Arjuna and Krishna together in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, right now. Shared service they had. So in this way we should have some shared service with some of the devotees whom we are fond of. Because if you already are fond of those devotees, if you get seva to do with them, then deep spiritual bonds can be formed. So I'm sorry if I delayed you all too much. Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much. So the power of association, I spoke about both good and bad association. This small boy, Raghunath Das, he was a small kid, baby, maybe 4-5-year-old boy probably. Once he was taken by Balram Acharya to a cave where Haridas Thakur was chanting. That was his first experience of Krishna consciousness. And the boy developed a great affection and attraction for Namacharya. Haridas Thakur, seeing his detachment, seeing his attachment to the holy name, seeing his serenity and peace. The very first meeting was very impactful for him. And later on, by the influence of Haridas Thakur, he met Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu another time. That became even more impactful for him. I am just telling you how the association silently influences us positively. Another example I tell you, Roop, Sanatan, Anupam were 3 brothers. Anupam's son is Jiva. So Jiva Goswami was in Ramkeli, he was a small boy. And Rup Sanatan were falling at the feet of Lord Chaitanya, and how Mahaprabhu dealt with them. That was watched by whom? Jiva Goswami. And Jiva Goswami developed such attraction for Lord Chaitanya's movement. He decided at that very moment, he decided, I'm going to join Mahaprabhu's movement. So the influence can be, even a momentary great association can be very impactful for us. So, the very, very important topic, I spoke very fastly. In case I can share this PPT with Prabhuji, then later on you all can go through it leisurely. And I'm here tomorrow. In case you have any question, Prabhu has my email, you can write to me also. Now you also take rest. I also take early rest. I take rest at 8:30, get up at 2:30. Or 9 to 3. Today is a little late. Prabhupada. Thank you. But you all are very smart. You finished your prasadam already, correct? That's real smartness it is. I have one phone which I call it as a super smartphone. Can you guess why it is called super smart? Because there is no SIM. It is a phone only for, I use the hearing device. But for the phone I can use a button phone.
So I'd like to thank Radheshyam Prabhuji for such a crisp, pointed and deep presentation, taking us into the most important aspect of our is already chanted Hare Krishna 3 times. And then as Prabhuji was mentioning, Prabhuji is with us tomorrow as well. And then he leaves Friday morning. So tomorrow afternoon, Prabhuji is giving a lecture at CMU. And then tomorrow evening, Prabhuji will be speaking at the Kirtan Center in our downtown Lawrenceville Center. So Prabhuji will be speaking there. And then, of course, during the day, if anyone has any questions, they would like to have some more guidance, we can check if Prabhuji has some time available. But most importantly, as I was mentioning earlier, that Prabhuji has been a great source of inspiration for me in my spiritual life in all different aspects. There's service, sadhana, reading, teaching and all that. And more recently, last year when Prabhuji was there, I think early last year, or maybe last year, I had requested Prabhuji for a short japa talk, and very graciously he agreed for that. And then, that morning, it was just a few of us, and Prabhuji spoke for about 20 minutes, half an hour. And I was sharing with him earlier this year when I met him that short talk had such a transformational experience in my sadhana. So I've been actually thanking him every single day ever since that meeting, and I'm very grateful to Prabhuji for energizing us. And so I would actually like to take the liberty and see if Prabhuji if you would like to give us a little short talk tomorrow morning and chant as is possible. So we can, based on your schedule.
Every day what time is that?
So every day we have a Zoom chanting. So we can start around 6:30. We go until 8:30.
If that is japa,
So around 6:30, I think that should be good, and then we can have group japa as well. So any devotees want to come, they can come.
5-10 minutes I can speak.
Yeah. So tomorrow, should we do 7 o'clock? Like 7 o'clock you'll speak, and then should we chant from like 6 to 8 like that?
Yeah. So whatever time you tell me I can speak.
Okay, perfect. So tomorrow we can all join for a group japa from 6 to 8, and at 7 o'clock Prabhuji will
Daily what time you have daily?
Daily 6:30 to 8:30 on Zoom. You don't come in person.
They don't go to office before 8:30.
So it's basically like, whoever leave early, then they drop off. Like that. Like that. But tomorrow, since you're here.
What is it before 6:30?
What then?
Before 6:30.
Before 6, it's usually given as a personal. Household programs, RP and all that.
Get ready with all those things.
Right. Yeah.